If a driver cancels a ride for a reason out of their control, does that still negatively impact their cancellation rate? Let's discuss. Really quickly, if you have yet to download the Solo app to help you manage your rideshare business and earn more, our referral link will be in the description. So recently on the channel, in their Crossfire debate, Harry and Sergio discussed cancellation rates. In particular, it was cancellation on Lyft. There was a driver that canceled a few rides on Lyft and received escalating emails saying they could be deactivated. This driver was driving during a blizzard and he canceled a couple of times because he felt the conditions were unsafe. But should canceling for this reason in particular and other reasons outside of the driver's control affect cancellation rate negatively? Passenger no-shows, no car seat, too many passengers, unsafe, just like this driver chose. Should those reasons count against your cancellation rate? There is no official documentation online for Lyft or Uber, so we really have no idea if these reasons negatively affect our cancellation rate. So I contacted both Lyft and Uber support. Lyft said that canceling for reasons outside of the driver's control will not negatively impact cancellation rate. Uber, on the other hand, did say that it will negatively impact cancellation rate. Now again, I had this chat with Lyft support. There's no official documentation, so all I can do is take the word of the agent that I was speaking with, and it could have been a bot, I don't even know. The main thing is, these companies are not transparent when it comes to cancellation rate. There's no official documentation online. You have to reach out to support just to get any answer, and in conversations with support, it is very difficult to get a direct answer to the very first question that you ask. There's always a back and forth. It's really annoying. Canceling for reasons outside of the driver's control, like a passenger no-show, should not negatively impact a driver's cancellation rate. It's ridiculous. But I'm assuming, and I have to assume because there's no official documentation online, that certain cancellation situations will trigger certain escalations on driver accounts. The main reason being if a driver is canceling too often. I think an acceptable cancellation rate should be like 10%, but I do find that especially on Lyft, if I cancel even one ride within my next few rides, I'll get a message in the driver app about that cancellation. So again, these escalations on driver accounts, which we have no official documentation on, I'm guessing are too many cancellations, obviously a high cancellation rate, and also one could be if you're canceling after a certain amount of time, if you're not canceling right away after you accept the request. For me personally, when I cancel because I've accidentally accepted a request or it's just a request that I don't want, I see I accepted a request with stops or something like that, I will try and cancel that request within like 10 seconds of accepting it. And I could see that if drivers are waiting too long to cancel, say a minute or two, that could trigger escalation emails and messages on their account. Now this driver that was driving in a blizzard might have been waiting longer to cancel his rides, and he still chose the reason as unsafe, but that might have flagged his account because he was waiting too long to cancel the ride. Do I agree that these escalation emails and messages should go out as often as they do, especially on Lyft? No, not at all. But I can see why the system might have these automatic triggers if a driver is waiting too long to cancel rides. Again, I think an acceptable cancellation rate should be about 10%, especially if Lyft and Uber are including reasons outside of the driver's control. I have to assume that Lyft and Uber are taking this into account, but there is no official documentation online. I can't reiterate that enough. There should be official documentation online, especially when threatening drivers with deactivation because of cancellations. So the main thing I come away with is these companies need to be more transparent. We need to have official documentation. We need to know exactly what we're doing wrong if we're doing something wrong. But what do all of you think? Did you know that on Uber, canceling for reasons outside of your control, like a passenger no-show, will negatively impact your cancellation rate? Also, how often do you receive cancellation warnings on the driver app, especially in Lyft? I feel like I don't receive them in the Uber app anymore, but I receive them a lot on Lyft. Again, if you have yet to download the Solo app, be sure to check that out. Our referral link is in the description. We also have a newsletter, and you can sign up for that with the link in the description as well. If you've yet to watch my latest video on Lyft's priority mode, be sure to check that one out. Thanks again for watching, and drive safe. Thanks.